of liberation. So therefore its moral practice is indispensable, both attaining higher rebirth in this world existence, as well as attaining liberation that takes one away from this vicious cycle of existence. If morality is practiced properly, not only would it guarantee attaining higher rebirth in the future and possibly attaining ultimate enlightenment, but also it serves as antidotes to all miseries and dissatisfaction one encounters in this life. One's practice of morality goes as a solace, that which actually relinquishes all heat of suffering that one may be suffering from, could be cooled down by the practice of morality. It is this point that makes morality such an important issue that one must adhere and persevere to practice. Even though morality is such an important item that one must adhere to, those who practice morality artificially without genuine intention, he therefore goes on to describe what artificial morality practitioners would behave like. It is said that one who practices morality simply to become due to one's attachment to the welfare of this life, his or her practice of morality will be the cause of acquiring worldly dharma, gain, fame, reputation, and so forth. One uses one's practice of morality as a way to attract respect, honor, and good reputation, happiness in this very life. One's practice of morality would suffer if any of the opposite occurs in one's life. Therefore, a person who practices morality for worldly concerns of this life alone, he or she will definitely show how worldly or samsaric they are trapped as a problem with which they are practicing. Not only that, it is very clear that one who is practicing artificial morality, because there's meaning ungenuine morality, it is said that the one who practices morality with attachment to this life alone would be very critical of others who are not very moral. There may be others who are immoral. They will be very critical and look down upon those who genuinely makes minor transgressions. One would not be understanding and forgiving of those who have occurred a minor transgression, because one's own morality is one which is practiced solely to attract respect and gain and happiness in this life alone. Therefore, one uses to chastise other people's immorality as a big evil they may have committed. Not only that, person who fall into this artificial morality practitioner, it will become very jealous of others who may be known to be very moral disciplined. One may say, oh, he is very true to the moral precepts, but then one goes on to express various contrasts as what the person is, either greedy or whatsoever. The one goes on to slander other people, even though their moral precept may be a strength, but one couldn't tolerate their moral precepts, but one goes on trying to find other loopholes in their life affairs. Therefore one becomes very slanderous and very jealous as one's own practitioner. Not only that, one's own practice of morality will suffer from hypocrisy. That is to say, one will show in presence of other people how, as if one say what one doesn't, for instance, if one who is practicing morality of hypocrisy, in the case of drinking alcohol, one will act in the presence of others as if one never touches a bottle of any alcoholic substances. But when there aren't people, one will assiduously sip them and act as one never drank them. So there will be heaps of hypocrisy, the person who suffer from practice of morality simply for this welfare. Not only because of this, Chogye Trichen asserts the importance of abandoning such artificial morality, because it becomes not only the causes of one's rebirth of oneself in lower rebirth, but at the same time become causes of suffering. One's practice of ungenuine morality fail to become antidote to one's suffering and miseries, but also it increases, it fans the causes of one's suffering in this world, and therefore it is better to abandon such artificiality, this Chakya expresses. So, one way to iterate the importance of practice of morality is not only there is a difference between artificial and genuine morality, but also morality that is directly associated with physical activities, verbal behavior, and mental attitude. If one were to be skillful in terms of determining whether it's moral or immoral, not only in externally physical activities, but also internal attitude, that what attitude one might have, that also might be contrary to the very spirit of morality. For instance, if one were to practice physical morality, one goes on to try to, even the most minor physical morality, one should adhere and preserve them. Likewise, with the verbal one should not overlook, for instance, short, simple requests or instructions given by one's spiritual master. If one overlooks and neglects that, then seeing that this is such a minor thing, it doesn't matter, even though it does not agree with the wish of the teacher. If we can just skip it, it will be okay. If one says this, one is overlooking verbally by expressing that it doesn't really matter because it's such a minor issue. One who is not scrupulous in following morality will indeed overlook minor things and therefore end up accruing a lot of negative merits, negative results, or rather demerits as a consequences of such negligence or overlooking such minor things. This could be illustrated further by the story of the Elapatra. Elapatra is a particular Naga who in previous life was a disciple of the Buddha. And while as an ordained monk who followed the Buddha's teachings, but as constitutionally the vows and precepts were increased as the Buddha went on giving further for prohibition as what a monk should or shouldn't do. One of the prohibition that Buddha gave was that a fully ordained one should not uproot trees or pull grass from the soil. And Elapatra in previous life, a disciple, criticized Buddha, saying, "This is such a minor thing, what is he going on about?" And therefore he, in overlooking and neglecting what Buddha said, he actually uprooted a plant, so to speak. And in next life he was born as a Naga, and this Naga had a huge tree growing on its head. So therefore, however many times the storm or wind blew the tree, it totally stirred the brain and all parts of guts of the Naga as a